When you're going to swatch your work, because you're just doing a small piece of knitting, usually maybe 6 inches, 15 centimeters wide by deep, it's much easier to work it flat. However, if you've got a knitting style where your purl stitches are a lot looser than your knit stitches, a swatch knit flat is not going to give you a very accurate result. So what you do when you've got, if you want something that's going to be knit in the round, ideally if your purl stitches are looser, then you're going to want a swatch in the round. But if you actually do a swatch like this in the round, you're going to be working twice the length that you actually need because you can't lay it down flat. So there is a way to swatch in the round but actually do it flat. So it's kind of it's a cheating in the round, because with swatching in the round, all you're trying to do is work each row as if it was a right side row. So if it's stockinette stitch, it means that you want to knit every row. So when you finish the right side row, if it's in back and forth, you turn around and you'd purl. If your finished piece isn't going to have any purl stitches in it and your purl stitch is very loose compared to your knit, then you don't want to go and purl back across the wrong side because it's going to give you a much looser gauge. So what you want to do instead is either join it in the round or do this cheat method, whereby when you finish the first row, swing around like this, pull a strand across the back of your work loosely, and begin knitting on this side. Now, because the first couple of stitches are going to be quite loose, first and last stitches, you do want to have several stitches longer than you would have if you were doing a typical swatch, because you can't make use of those. If your strands are long enough that they can comfortably stretch like this, then there's no need to cut. You can reuse the yarn if you need to at a later time. However, if you find that these aren't loose enough to be able to pull it out and stretch it, then you can, after you've blocked it, just cut those so that you can lay it flat. So this means that you only do about half of the length of knitting if you were doing it in the round, but you will still get the same results. So when I reach the end of this row, again, slide it down here. If you've got double pointed needles, that will also work just fine. Come down to this end, grab my working yarn around, stretch it out so I know the full length, and begin down here. This is particularly useful if you're doing stranded colour work, because stranded colour work is always going to be in the round, such as this. But if you want to do it flat like this, you'll have a couple of stitches at the start and at the end of every row that are going to be done with both colours. I'll usually knit them together at the start and the end, and then the rest of it you can use as your colour work. So hopefully this will give you an idea as to how you can easily work flat to get a flat swatch, but still be able to accurately measure what it's going to look like in the round, because of the fact that you're only keeping that public or the front side of your work facing you as you're working your swatch.